Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12. I am your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. There's a lot that I have to talk to you guys today on this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. I hope you guys are having a terrific weekend. First things first, Dave Parker, who is one of the best who ever wore a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. He passed away at the age of 74 due to Parkinson's disease. He was honored and mentioned before the start of the game between the Mets and the Pirates. The Pirates second baseman Nick Gonzalez wore the number 39 jersey, and that's the same number that Parker wore during his years playing with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates won 9-2 against the Mets, and also the Pirates still haven't retired Parker's jersey, his number 39 jersey. And unfortunately, it sucks that it's gonna happen after he passed away. It would have been so much better if he was alive to see this happening. Parker, he was great for the Pirates. He played for them for 11 seasons from 1973 to 1983. And he was battling Parkinson's disease for a very long time. And it's the same disease that, Muhammad Ali passed away of. And it's just any disease is just terrible. But when I learned that his jersey has not been retired yet by the Pirates, I just in a way it's not surprising because again, people want to acknowledge someone when they're already gone. So it's gonna happen, but again, Dave Parker is not gonna be here to see it. So far, there have been 9 retired jersey numbers by the Pirates organization. So with Parker is gonna be most likely number 10. Parker played in 1,301 games for the Pirates. He collected 1,479 yards, 296 doubles, 166 home runs, 123 stolen bases. He ranks 6th in franchise history in home runs, 8th in both doubles, and 524 extra base hits, and 9th in slugging percentage, which is a .494. Rest in peace, Dave Parker. Ketel Marte has been a trending story this week. It all began when the Diamondbacks were on the road playing against the Chicago White Sox. And when Ketel Marte stepped up to the batter's box, a 22-year-old fan basically yelled out to Marte, "Last night I was texting your mother." Marte heard it, and it bothered him so much that he was visibly in tears. The fan, he got escorted out of the game and he's banned in all ballparks. There's one thing that you gotta understand, especially Latin folks like myself, especially Dominican descent. Ketel Marte, he's Dominican. I'm Dominican descent as well. One thing that people gotta know is that when it comes to referencing someone's mother, that's a very, very, very sensitive topic. That's extremely sensitive. And Ketel Marte, he lost his mother due to a car accident in the Dominican Republic in 2017. So it's hurtful enough that he doesn't have his mother around. The way that she died is painful. And the fact is that when she died, the Diamondbacks, they were in Chicago playing. So the fact that here we are 8 years later for a fan to yell out that to him, it was super uncomfortable. And Marte said that he's accustomed of fans heckling and saying stuff to him, but towards about his mother, that's a whole different story. And Marte, who's a veteran in this league, one of the best players in the Diamondbacks roster, he's I feel like he's gonna retire as a Diamondback, especially after signing that extension. I like the fact that he said in a statement that he's praying for the 22-year-old and hopefully he cleanses his heart because it's not. And listen, fans are gonna be fans. They're gonna heckle. They're gonna say whatever they feel that they want to say because just because they bought a ticket and they can say whatever they want to say. But there's certain areas that you have to set out boundaries. And this situation may be the beginning of sports league taking into consideration in how they're gonna discipline the fans in the stadium because there's just certain things that you can't say that is completely out of bounds. And I can't stress this enough. Latin ball players, Latin people in general, when you reference someone's mother or family member, that's sensitive, especially when we're talking about mothers, particularly. That is super sensitive. So anyone who will look at Ketel Marte's situation, oh, he's being a crybaby, he's being too sensitive, or he's too soft, they either are mean spirited or they don't have a good relationship with their mother or don't have mother. I have a great relationship with my mother. I still have my mother in this world, and I'm super grateful for that. So I completely understand where Ketel Marte is coming from, and I fully support him. And it was great to see when the Diamondbacks came back home to play, and it was his time to bat. The amount of support that he received from the Arizona fans, the amount of support that he has received from other athletes and even social media in general, the amount of support that he's getting is outstanding, is tremendous. But when it comes to your own home crowd, Arizona, that unwavering support, that overwhelming support, it goes a long way. And he truly deserved it. And now we are off to the NBA. Quickly, the NBA draft happened this week. All the starting five players from the Duke team, they got drafted. Congratulations to each and every one of them. And this is not the first time that a bunch of Duke players have gone to the first round. It happened in 2018, 2019 with Zion Williamson, um, RJ Barrett, and company. And even with other teams like the Florida Gators, the 2007 Florida Gators, Al Horford, Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer, that team that went back to back NCAA champions, all those guys went in the first round. So um, now Duke has to basically get back into the drawing board. And this was a team that, was prompted to win it all last year, but they lost to the Houston Cougars. But congrats to all those Duke players that got drafted. Dre Powell, former Tar Heel. I'm a Tar Heel fan. He got drafted by the Nets. RJ Lewis Jr., he also got drafted. I think he got drafted by the Utah Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. It was great to see him perform with the St. John's Red Storm. I'm a Red Storm fan as well. RJ Davis, the second all-time leading scorer for North Carolina, got signed by the Lakers. So, and it's going to be a very challenging summer for him. He has to perform well in the summer league. We know what he can do scoring wise, but due to his size and his liability on defense, that's going to be a major concern for him. So, but if he has the heart, if he has the work ethic to take on these challenges and improve, then he's going to play in the NBA for a long time. Masai Ujiri, one of the best, one of the best when it comes to being in the front office in the NBA. After 13 seasons with the Toronto Raptors, the Raptors decided to part ways with him. He was their team president. He joined the Raptors in 2013 as an executive vice president and general manager, and then he got promoted to president in 2016. The key moment for Masai Ujiri, and we all know this for those of us who follow basketball, was when he traded the beloved DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. And that gutsy move turned out to be a blessing in disguise because the Raptors, they brought a championship in 2019 by defeating the Golden State Warriors. And but after the Raptors, they won it all in 2019. Everything basically went downhill from there. Kawhi Leonard didn't come back to the team. It would have been interesting if they would have run it back one more year, but that didn't happen. And then pieces of that championship team started to go part ways, traded different. Like Pascal Siakam got traded to the Pacers. Fred VanVleet, he's with the Houston Rockets. So things haven't been going so well for the Raptors after they won in 2019. This past season, they finished with a record 30-52. And I don't believe that all the blame should go on him. I think it's a collective of so many things that led to the demise of the Raptors. But he's gonna get a job somewhere else. I mean, what he's done with the city of Toronto was fantastic, and I really appreciate Masai Ujiri for what he's doing for Africa. I feel like guys like him and the Kim Mutombo have done amazing. Rest in peace to the Kim Mutombo. They've done a lot in terms of trying to grow the sport in Africa and just help people in general over there. So both of them have done amazing work over there. But he's definitely gonna get a job somewhere else. Oh yes, I can't forget to mention this. This is another story that has been trending this week, and that's Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey, he got selected as the fifth overall pick in the NBA draft by the Utah Jazz. And the reason the story became a big deal because supposedly him and his team, they declined to work out for several teams, or they didn't, or Bailey didn't want to get drafted by the Jazz and Charlotte Hornets. So basically, they declined invitations, they declined to work out, etc. So I don't know if this is one of those stories where it's being blown out of proportion. We have seen in the past that players, they control in terms of where they want to go, where they want to play. Danny Ferry is a good example. I think it was back in the 80s where instead of he declined to get drafted by the Clippers, I believe it was. He went to play overseas in Italy. There was also some rumblings, but it didn't happen about Shaq and his people try to negotiate to try to land him to the Lakers instead of possibly getting drafted by the Orlando Magic. Or what. Those are just things that were thrown out there, but Shaq ended up getting drafted by the Magic and played for them for 4 seasons. So, and I believe Evan Mobley that when he got drafted by the Cavs, he didn't work out for them. So these things happen, but I feel that because of the rise and the explosion of NIL and Ace Bailey and his team declining invitations and avoiding working out for other teams, I feel like because of NIL, this became much of a bigger story. So they're looking at Ace Bailey like he's being ungrateful, that he's being spoiled. Me personally, I look at the draft as a great opportunity for any team to want to get you, especially if you're it, most definitely if you're a low level draft pick. In Ace Bailey's case, he's a very top prospect. So I look at this, and this is just my opinion of, you have to be grateful and think of it that if this team chose you, God put it there for a reason. So I mean, me personally, I can say that I don't want to play for this team or that team. When you're trying to make it to the pros, you still have a lot left to prove. College is college, that was done. At the NBA level, you got to come with a certain level of professionalism, work ethics. There's a lot of things that goes into that. So so if indeed he was being picky in where he wants to play, then I don't think that's the right approach. And I'll just leave it at that. In the NHL, I feel like the New York Islanders were some of the biggest winners of this year's NFL draft. They got the first overall pick in Matthew Schaefer, and they also went on to select 6 players on day 2 of the draft. All right. So I'm not gonna say that the Islanders are back, but they're making very strong moves. This is a very special moment for Schaefer because unfortunately his mother died of breast cancer in February 2024. So the wound is still fresh, the pain is still immense. And this is what Schaefer had to say. And I quote, "It's amazing to go first overall and to a great organization. It's an honor. It's truly an honor. My mom's looking down on me right now, and I wish that she could be here, but I miss her a lot. A lot of tears that you guys could see when I walked up on stage. Well, those are happy tears. I just can't wait to get started. And I'm looking forward to see him perform with the Islanders. I'm not an Islanders fan, I'm a Rangers fan, but I'm looking forward to seeing this kid play and continue to make his mom proud and his family proud." Oh, one more thing. I feel that an underrated pick that the Islanders got was Luca Romano in the 3rd round. He's a very dynamic offensive player and he has great passing skills. He can change pace. So he is someone that definitely got to keep an eye on. This season, playing with Kitchener Rangers in the OHL, he posted 51 points in 67 games. So he had 25 goals and 26 assists. He finished fourth on the team in goals. So he's 5'1", and if he plays for the Islanders, he most likely will be part of the third line. So he's not big, he's not a big player, to play in that third line. But I feel that he could thrive if the opportunity is given and if he works at it as well. Last but not least, Nick Sanchez. Racer Nick Sanchez. He scored his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series victory early on Saturday morning at Echo Park Speedway. Sanchez, he's 24 years old, and he became the first driver to earn his first series victory this season. And he gave the Big Machine Racing team its second career Xfinity victory. And this is what Sanchez had to say. In this sport, winning is everything. Nobody cares about second, third. Nobody cares that I ran great at Pocono or Texas. They look at the results, and that's all they see. That's frustrating. Obviously, I feel like I'm a lot better than what I should have this year. I'm a lot better than my results. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that winning is the only you're going to advance in the sport. 26 of the 38 cars were involved in an incident, including Sanchez. He spun to bring out the caution on lap 68 of the 163 lap race after contact with Matt De Benedetto as they raced for sixth place at the time. The race was delayed for about an hour and 18 minutes before the end of stage one due to lightning. And that's all I have for you guys for today's Sports News Flash at 12. Hopefully, you guys enjoy listening to this episode. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, be safe. And may God bless each and every one of you. Enjoy your Sunday with a bunch of sports, baseball, NASCAR, golf. Have a great Sunday, everyone. And I'll see you guys next Sunday for a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Take care.